Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I'm OldNintenDude. This is our 600 subscriber stream. Yes, we made it to 600 subscribers, and I am thoroughly pleased and happy about that. I want to thank you so much for choosing me. There's so much content out there. There's so many things you could be watching and doing, but you choose to watch me. And I appreciate that a lot. Well, what's up, fellow nostalgic enthusiasts? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're time traveling straight back to peak age of cartoons, the radical 80s and the awesome 90s. If you're like me, these shows didn't just entertain us, they captured our attention to both powerful and zany stories and their characters. They gave us our first crushes, our first epic battles, and probably our first existential crisis over why we could not be a Ninja Turtle. I have a colossal list to go through of classic cartoons. I went through 100 80s cartoons and 100 90s cartoons and went through all the ones and identified the ones that I had at least watched one episode of. Just Joe, hello. Tink, thanks for coming in. So I went through these and I found the ones that I had at least seen one episode of to throw on the list. So we're going to rank these. We have at the very top, Mind Blown. These are absolute, undeniable, flawless masterpieces. The shows are still giving me goosebumps to this day. They defined a generation, probably influenced half of what we watch today. They're legendary, groundbreaking, and totally unforgettable. So when you hear this, that means I chose it to be a mind-blowing cartoon. Next is our A tier, totally awesome. Seriously amazing shows. They're just not quite there yet. They're iconic and classic, but not quite where I'm willing to push my baby sister out of the way so I could get there in time to watch the intro to the show. But they're still good in their own right. Next up, B tier, is Goody Two Shoes. Solid, reliable shows. I mean, I'll watch it if it was on. If nothing else was on, if not my A or C, S or A tier were on. And but if something else was on those better, I would definitely flip the channel. So our B tier is
awesome to the max.
And that was our A tier, the awesome. B tier is good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Now C tier. C tier is a little bit different. I mean, I caught maybe one episode, two episodes, and I was like, it's not for me. Maybe if there was nothing else on, absolutely nothing else on, I'd watch that. I mean, I'd maybe even watch tennis or golf back in the day over it. But it was okay. C tier is gonna be this.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I mean, yeah, it did its thing. I didn't watch too much of that. And then of course there was D tier. I'm titling it Womp Womp Womp. It's where I literally was pulling my hair out waiting for the daycare or after school to change the channel because I got voted out of that 30 minutes of entertainment, and they got to watch the other people got to watch what they wanted to watch, which was totally not my taste, but I had to endure those 30 minutes, and that's going to be this.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, it's emotional damage. I would rather be doing math homework after school program than that. So, our first cartoon is The Adventures of Jonny Quest, and I'm going to be popping them up on the left of the screen, the cover art that I could find for these different cartoons. Our first up is Jonny Quest. So this was a great adventure. So you get ready for globetrotting, scientific adventure, and a whole lot of danger. The groundbreaking animated series followed the incredible exploits of Jonny Quest, a brave and curious young boy who accompanied his brilliant scientist father, Dr. Benton Quest, on thrilling, often perilous missions around the world, along with Johnny's adopted brother Hagi, the intrepid bodyguard Race Bannon, and their loyal bulldog Bandit. They faced everything from mad scientists to ancient curses to exotic creatures and advanced technology. Each episode was pulse-pounding, intellect blend of action, mystery, and scientific exploration. Now, we're going to come across several cartoons that do the same thing. Now, I remember several episodes of this. I would say we're going to throw this in the...
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it wasn't like I'm going to push someone over, get out of my way. I'm going to skip homework and not tell my parents I skipped homework to watch it. But it was good. And we're going to throw that up on our list to the B tier. Boom. We got our B tier. So next up is He-Man. He-Man. Wow. I remember in daycare and after school that coming on. And there was a sequence of that and a couple of cartoons we're gonna review as well. And this is from the mystical land of Eternia. We follow the chiseled Prince Adam, who, with a mighty swing of his powerful sword, transformed into He-Man, the universe's most powerful defender, alongside valiant allies like Teela, Man-at-Arms, the magical Orko, and his perpetual frightened tiger Cringer, who became the mighty Battle Cat. He-Man tirelessly protected the secrets of Castle Grayskull from the cackling evil of Skeletor and his motley crew. This was a good adventure. I enjoyed every episode. It was great in its own right. But during the time, there was other cartoons that I say were a little bit better than that. But I would definitely watch it. So we're going to give it an
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
totally awesome. Yeah, we're going to throw it up there. Totally awesome. That's some, and they've gone back and done some remakes of that, which is awesome. Totally awesome. They've done some reboots of it, which is good for them. Next up on our list. Yeah, we're already getting to some peak performance already. Transformers. That is a powerful storyline. And before Michael Bay turned them into giant metal smashing robots, we had the original animated saga. The series chronicled a millennia-long interstellar civil war between two factions of sentient alien robots from Cybertron. The noble Autobots, led by wise and heroic Optimus Prime, and the ruthless Decepticons, commanded by the formidable Megatron. Their epic clash for energy and the fate of their homeland crash-landed on Earth, where they continued their war disguised as everyday vehicles and machinery, leading to some truly more than meets the eye moments. Autobots, roll out! Or Decepticons, transform and terrify. Remember those? Wow. It was definitely a ploy for Mattel to cash in on their toys, but at the same time, they created some serious content that I believe was a little bit above, a notch above He-Man. So I'm going to give that mind blown. It was great what they were able to do with Transformers. And so we're going to throw that up there and mind blown. And as we start adding to these tiers, we're going to start sliding things to the side, to the left or the right, depending on where within the tier we believe it belongs. Far left is going to be ultimate of that tier, and then going to the right will be lesser. So that's Transformers. Yes, Transformers. Next up, a classic cartoon for all ages, Smurfs. Deep within a hidden enchanted forest, a whimsical community of diminutive, azure-skinned humanoids charmingly known as Smurfs. They lived in their iconic mushroom-shaped dwellings. Their idyllic, peaceful existence was a constant target for a perpetual, frustrated, and truly evil wizard, Gargamel, and his equally sinister feline companion, Azrael, who relentlessly plotted to capture the Smurfs for their magical essence and simply to turn them into gold. La 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 la. If you remember that tune, you know you will immediately trigger the scene of all the Smurfs being all happy in their town. Who was your favorite Smurf? Was it Brainy, Vanity, or Papa Smurf? Yeah, Smurfs. We're gonna give that.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was a little too cute for me. Just for me, it was a little too cute, and I felt like some of the episodes were basically the same. But it's good. I mean, it's good. Actually, you know what? We'll throw it ahead of Jonny Quest in that tier. It was good. All right. After that, we had another series that was fairly similar to it. We had Snorks. So dive into a vibrant, unexplored depth of the ocean to the whimsical world of Snorkland, home of the Snorks. These small, colorful, anthropomorphic aquatic creatures sported unique snorkels on their heads that not only allowed them to propel through the water, but also magically reflected their moods. Interesting. The series plunged viewers into daily adventures and vibrant explorations of the Snorks as they encountered fascinating sea creatures and navigated their enchanting underwater society. Hanna-Barbera had a multitude of great shows during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and this was one of them that I remember as a kid in my bunk bed with my brother. We had a TV that was brought into our room, I remember a couple times, and I remember watching Snorks. Snorks was definitely good. It was, I would say if it came on again, if they rebooted it, I would probably try to find a way to watch the reboot of it. So we're going to give it a...
Awesome to the max.
I'd say it was a tier above Smurfs. Smurfs was too cutesy. I know Snorks was cutesy in a way as well, but I felt like I enjoyed Snorks more than cutesy. I know I'm a little against the grain, but we're gonna throw it. It's definitely behind He-Man, but it's awesome, simply awesome. All right, it looks like my random list has already gotten to peak again. Peak. We have X-Men. Based on the iconic Marvel Comics, this critically acclaimed series plunged into a gritty, emotional, resonant world where the X-Men, a formidable team of diverse mutants led by the brilliant telepath Professor Xavier, heroically dedicate their lives to protecting a human world that tragically feared and persecuted them. They grappled with complex themes of prejudice, identity, and social justice, while battling a vast array of supervillains and nuanced ideologists of their frenemy, Magneto. Who was your favorite mutant? Now, this particular show meant a lot. I remember my brother, he's 13 months younger than me. We both enjoyed X-Men a lot. We would fantasize about being certain X-Men and playing them when we were younger. We had action figures. Brother really got into comic books. We had trading cards of X-Men. X-Men was legit. Who was your favorite X-Men? I was big on Wolverine. Because of his claws, his personality. He was a little spunky. I enjoyed X-Men a lot. And with that, I'm going to put that definitely mind blown. And that's going to be in front of Transformers. X-Men definitely in front of Transformers. You can't go wrong with X-Men. I mean, you had action, you had drama, you had comedy, you had adventure, you had multi-part episodes where they would interlink with each other. It was a big story in itself that slowly developed between multiple episodes, and Disney saw how much people will enjoy that so much, and the fact that they brought it back to the Disney Plus channel as well. So you know something's good there. All right, so that's X-Men. Next up, you definitely, oh wow, the music was on par. The intro music for X-Men was on par with James Bond. It screamed adventure just hearing it, and if I heard it, I would know exactly what it was, and I was ready to suit up. Yes, Just Joe, definitely. All right, next on our list is Garfield and Friends. I remember this because I remember the intro where the announcer would be announcing it like a show, a variety show, and now Garfield and Friends, and Garfield would be tapping in on top of the fence with a little record player playing, and they would start singing. This was a delightful anthology series brought to life two beloved comic strips. The primary segment hilariously followed the perpetual cynical, supremely lazy, and lasagna-obsessed feline Garfield, his perpetual goofy and silent canine companion Odie, and their long-suffering human owner John Arbuckle. Now, the second equally charming segment was U.S. Acres. It was later rebranded for Orson Farms. It depicted the whimsical misadventures of a naive pig named Orson and his eccentric band of barnyard animal friends. Yeah, exactly. I felt like they were doing the comics injustice and didn't focus on the pure comedy of the comic strips, and sticking with Garfield and always having some insight into the situation or giving his thoughts out loud to John. I would give it a good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It was good. I was willing to watch it in the mornings. I remember getting ready for school, and that would come on before we left for school. And that was definitely something I was like, oh, I want to watch this. But it wasn't quite
awesome. Awesome to the max.
Yeah, it wasn't quite awesome to the max, and definitely not mind-blowing. But it was good. It's good. So we're going to put that... I'm going to put it ahead of Smurfs and Jonny Quest. Yeah, we're going to put it ahead of Jonny Quest and Smurfs. All right, now we're encountering a spin-off. We actually have a cartoon that is a spin-off that actually did well in its own right. We have the adorable rodents, Pinky and the Brain. It's a genius spin-off from the Animaniacs, which we'll get to later. This brilliant series focused on two highly contrasting, genetically altered laboratory mice. There was Brain, the diminutive, very megalomaniacal genius who tirelessly concocted increasingly elaborate, often ridiculously absurd plans for global domination. And then there was Pinky, his utterly dim-witted but incredibly good-natured psychic. Narf! Remember that? Narf! Zort! Who was clueless and bizarre. Invariably, it led to spectacular failure of Brain's meticulously crafted schemes. He would always have something. He was basically the Gilligan to Skipper in Gilligan's Island. If you had to put it that way. Or the professor and Skipper combined, he would be the Gilligan. What are we doing tonight, Brain? Same thing we're doing every night, Pinky. Trying to take over the world. That was a phrase that I enjoyed quoting when I was in high school. Trying to take over the world. And in fact, I used Pinky and the Brain to inspire me for my gamer tag. I have a gamer tag that I've been using for, I would say 20 plus years now. Off of one of the characters that Brain does. And there's an episode where he plans to take over the world through country music, and he becomes a country singer. And I use that as my gamer tag. Now, this is a tough one. It's good. I would say it's awesome, but I don't know if it's mind-blowing in itself. Definitely, yeah. We're gonna go with
awesome to the max.
Yeah, we're gonna go awesome to max. So I will put it in front of He-Man and Snorks, Pinky and the Brain. All right, now we have an obscure one. Back in the 90s, Steven Spielberg Studios developed a multitude of different cartoon series, and they tried to go and branch out beyond the Animaniac universe in a way. And they had a character named Freakazoid. So it's an unadulterated animated anarchy. This series followed Dexter Douglas, a nerdy teenager who, thanks to a digital mishap, was accidentally transformed into Freakazoid, a truly zany, hyperactive, and wildly unpredictable superhero. Armed with immense speed and strength, he was just as likely to break the fourth wall, burst into a random song, or engaged in serial humor and pop culture parodies as he was to actually battle bizarre villains. It wasn't catchy enough for me. I felt like there was other cartoons with superheroes at the time or before that time that were a lot better. And I didn't watch a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and put it in the...
I mean, it's alright,
We're gonna put it in the oops, forgot that one. I remember watching one or two episodes and moving on from there. It wasn't catchy enough. I felt like it was trying too hard to emulate the same humor and capture the same audience as Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs, which they did good, and I don't feel like Freakazoid got to that same level. I think they were pushing a little too hard, and there's one or two other cartoons that I felt like are the same way. They were trying to capture the same audience that was in a similar universe, but they did not do a good job. Oh, life is like a hurricane here in... Do you remember that? Do you remember that tune? Ducktales. Yep, Ducktales. This was quacktacular adventures awaited in a beloved Disney classic, centered on the world's richest duck, the Scottish and penny-pinching Scrooge McDuck, and his boisterous grand-nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, together with their hilarious and epic pilot, Launchpad McQuack. They embarked on thrilling global treasure hunts, daring expeditions, and fiercely defending Scrooge's legendary money bin from perennial foes like the Beagle Boys and the Magica Dispel. You hear this is peak entertainment again. The song itself is legendary. They've done spin-offs of this. There's a spin-off that will be going over, DuckTales. We're throwing that up there. You can't go wrong with DuckTales. I'm going to say it's even better than Transformers, but not quite as good as X-Men. You had so many great adventures. It was almost like watching a combination of Indiana Jones, James Bond, and just general Disney fun and family-friendly content all mixed into one. It was a great show. Oh, we have another one. Another one during the same time, done by Disney, that was beautiful. You have Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This was awesome as well. Our favorite mischievous chipmunks, Chip and Dale, took on an entirely new heroic mantle as they led the Rescue Rangers, pint-sized detective agency, joined by the brilliant inventor Gadget Hatchwrench, the cheese-loving Monterey Jack, and the buzzing Zipper. They solved crimes too small for the police, often helping animal clients and constantly clashing with the formidable arch-villains, the nefarious Fat Cat and the bumbling Professor Norton Nimnol. Now, this was a mixture of almost The Rescuers. If you've watched the movies The Rescuers, it reminds me a lot of that mixed with Sherlock Holmes in a way, with some Disney lighthearted comedy. Some of the crimes are too small for the police, but not for the Rescue Rangers. This show transformed Chip and Dale from just being comical side cartoons within all the different movies that they had and the Disney universe into actual creating their own identity. I'm not gonna say that it was mind blowing. It was
Awesome to the max.
It was awesome. It was good. They had enough variety, and I like the detective aspect of it. That made it pretty good. I definitely enjoyed that aspect. So we're gonna throw that in the totally awesome tier. I'm gonna put it between He-Man and Snorks. I feel like He-Man has a leg up on that. Pinky and the Brain definitely above that, but it was definitely better than Snorks. So we'll leave that there. Okay, we have another spinoff. I like this. We have another spinoff that was actually almost as good, if not better than... No, we're going to say it's just as good, but we'll go through it first. Get ready for a hilarious... Oh, I got to flip the... Where is it? Right there. Get ready for a hilarious feather take on superhero and pulp adventure stories. This series starred Darkwing Duck, the Cape crime fighter whose secret identity was rather ordinary, Drake Mallard. Dedicated to protecting the city of St. Canard from a colorful rogues gallery of villains. He was often assisted by his well-meaning but accident-prone sidekick, Launchpad McQuack. So you had multiple people come over from Ducktales and do this as well. And his feisty adopted daughter, Gosling Mallard, hilariously balancing heroic deeds with comic mishaps. Let's get dangerous. That was his catchphrase. I do remember that. Let's get dangerous. Every time something would happen, he would say that. It was almost like a DuckTales version of Batman, but some goofball comedy added to it and some accident-prone things happening as well. Launchpad was definitely not a Robin to Duckwing Duck, but Duckwing Duck, yeah, we're gonna throw that in the... that's a hard one. Little jig in the intro song. Yeah, doing a little jig. Doing a little jig. I'm gonna say... I don't know if I'm really gonna put mind-blowing, but it was definitely a comic or cartoon that I would be willing to watch on a regular basis. We're gonna say it's awesome.
Awesome to the max.
We're gonna throw it... I'm gonna put it... Yeah, we're gonna put to the left of He-Man. Yeah, it deserves to go left of He-Man. I feel like the comedy that was thrown in there gave it a little edge over He-Man, which was a little bit more serious. And the comedy that wasn't He-Man, like with Skeletor, like whenever he'd run away or something crazy would happen, it wasn't quite there. It didn't hit quite right, like Darkwing Duck. I almost said Duckwing Duck. Darkwing Duck. All right, next up on our list is going to be Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget, ultimate bumbling cyborg police detective. You notice the theme that I'm big on crime fighting. Big on crime fighting and detectives and whatnot. So we have the bumbling cyborg police detective. Inspector Gadget was equipped with an astonishing yet perpetually unreliable array of built-in gadgets. Obviously, to his own ineptitude, he was miraculously and unbeknownst to him, also saved by true masterminds of crime solving, his brilliant niece Penny and her equally intelligent dog Brain, who consequently and consistently thwarted the nefarious plans of shadowy Dr. Claw and his organization Mad. Go Gadget. I'd remember that. Go Gadget. Go Gadget arm. Go Gadget this. Go Gadget that. Sometimes he wouldn't say the right thing and the wrong thing would come out from different parts of his hat. I'm gonna throw this. This was a morning cartoon that I'd watch before. I can't remember if it was before or after Garfield. But it was a morning routine that I would watch before going to school. I'm gonna throw that in the.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It wasn't something that I passed on, but it wasn't something that I was eager to watch or would flip channels to try to find if it was on. We're gonna put it. It was better than Garfield. Yeah, it's better than Garfield. We'll put it on the B tier. Better than Garfield. All right. We're making some headway. I think I counted 79, 80 cartoons that we have to do. Next up was Beetlejuice. This is an odd one. Loosely inspired by the darkly comedic 1988 film, this animated series enthusiastically followed the delightful, macabre adventures of Lydia Dietz, a goth girl with a panache for strange, and her best friend, the ghostly ghost with the most, Beetlejuice. Together, they hilariously navigated both the mundane mortal world of peaceful pines and the chaotic supernatural netherworld, encountering a cavalcade of bizarre monsters and finding themselves in perpetually humorous, otherworldly situations. This one, there was a group of shows that I remember that came out in the early to mid 90s where they were really trying to push hard on cartoons that were influenced by TV shows or movies that adults had watched, because that's when they were trying to bring in more adults that had grew up in the 70s and 80s and try to get them to come back and watch some shows. And this was one of them. I know today's age, they're doing that again with remakes of movies and cartoons. Beetlejuice, I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes. So, and on top of that, I would not watch it again. Don't want to watch it again. So,
emotional damage.
It was not worth watching, and I don't ever think I'd watch it again. All right, next up. Okay, so this was another cartoon that's based off a comic strip series. You have Dennis the Menace. Dennis the Menace was based on the comic strip, and this animated series cheerfully chronicled the daily life and endless, well-meaning, but often utterly chaotic antics of Dennis Mitchell, a perpetually curious and energetic young boy. His innocent actions frequently escalated into comical disruptions for his perpetually grumpy, long-suffering, next-door neighbor, George Wilson. Oh, Mr. Wilson! Remember that? I remember that. But it was based off the comics, and there was a 60s shows that I think did a black and white 60s show that did a lot better at Dennis the Menace. Hey, Isabella. Hello. Dennis the Menace, it was one of those shows where I don't know if it was emotional damage. Like, I didn't want to watch it. Same time, it was, I mean,
it's all right. Like,
it was all right. I mean, nothing else was on, and I was forced to watch that or tennis or golf or something else that was on TV at the time. I would turn it on and watch it, but it wasn't like was eager to watch it. So we're gonna put that. I'll put it ahead of Freakazoid. Yeah, we'll definitely put it ahead of Freakazoid. But it's.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
it's all right. It's all right. And we now have another cartoon that's adapted from a movie or TV series. We have the Real Ghostbusters. Okay, so proton packs are at the ready. This beloved series seamlessly continued the story from the hit 1984 film. I remember seeing that. The movie was good. Followed the continued adventures of intrepid paranormal investigators. You had the sarcastic Peter Venkman, the brilliant Egon Spengler, the jovial Ray Stantz, and the grounded Winston Zeddemore. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! So they operating from the iconic firehouse headquarters in New York City, they fiercely combated a vast array of ghosts and supernatural entities, often accompanied by their no-nonsense secretary, Janine Milnitz, and the perpetual hungry green ghost, Slimer. I do remember Ecto Cooler Blast high C drinks being in my lunchbox. I do remember having, I think my brother and I had Ghostbusters toys. As far as a cartoon, it was
hey, that's pretty good.
It was good. It wasn't like, all right. I mean, it was good, but I don't know if I constantly watched it. I would watch it, but not constantly. We're gonna put it ahead of Jonny Quest and behind Smurfs. I'm gonna move Garfield. I'm feeling Garfield needs to be behind Smurfs. Yeah, we're gonna move. See, I can make these changes along the way. I'm gonna make these changes along the way. As I see these laid out in a tier format. This is fun. Sometimes it gives you some perspective. Like, wait, did I really put that there? And I may even bump one up or down a tier. In fact, I am.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
we're gonna put Jonny Quest down here ahead of Dennis the Menace in the oops, forgot that one. Moving Garfield, crazy work. There, Isabella, you know, this is my tier list, not yours. Ugh. All right, next up on the list. IKEA. Happy 4th of July to you too. Howdy. And thanks for being a subscriber. You helped make this possible. I appreciate that. All right, so now we have, next up on our list is Heathcliff. This was another cartoon that played mostly early in the morning that I would watch. And it was okay. It competed with Garfield. You had this, and I think Felix the Cat as well. I don't have Felix the Cat on here because I don't think I ever watched it. I remember seeing the old 60s ones, and I wasn't that interested because it was trying to push a little too hard. And I'm not going to have any cartoons on here that were reruns. So like if you have Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, what else was there? There's other cartoons that were actually in the 60s and 70s. I'm not going to have those in here. Even though you may have saw the reruns of them, I'm only showing ones that actually aired and started airing in the 80s and 90s. Heathcliff. This animated series was a double dose of feline fun, featuring two distinct segments. One segment clawed its way into the hearts with Heathcliff, the cunning, sarcastic, and scheming orange alley cat. Now there's a difference. You had alley cat versus domestic cat. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. The Cadillac Cats was the second part, which is a jazzy group of junkyard cats who lived in a souped-up Cadillac, often pursuing musical careers or embarking on whimsical cat-tasket adventures. This was one where I did not like it. I did not like the fact, like, I was familiar with Garfield, and this was a knockoff, and I was like, yeah, I would actually change the channel on that one, so we're gonna give it a
emotional damage.
How dare they try to take away from the sunshine and light of Garfield. I'm putting it down there on the womp womp. How dare they try to take away from Garfield. Yeah, Heathcliff goes down there. You can check him out if you want, but I'm not gonna even look it up ever again. Yeah, we're getting that out of there. right? We have the Pound Puppies. Oh, Pound Puppies. Get ready for maximum cuteness. This heartwarming series followed an adorable, furry ensemble of Pound Puppies living in a pet store, led by their intelligent and resourceful Cooler. Their singular, heartfelt mission was to find loving forever homes for themselves and all their fellow canine companions. They often had to outsmart their greedy human owner, Holly, and other antagonists who sought to exploit innocent animals. This was a great way for people to be aware of adopting animals. Definitely there. It was definitely cute and fun. My brother, I think, enjoyed it more than I did. They had a series of stuffed animals that my brother got. He enjoyed that a lot more. I would say myself, as I reflect on my childhood and think to my past, I would say this was just...
Hey, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good. It wasn't awesome. It was okay. I would watch it, but it wasn't something that I thoroughly enjoyed as much as my sibling did. So I will put this... It's going to be ahead of Ghostbusters for sure. Not as good as Garfield. Oh, we're going to move Garfield up. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? I'm going to move Garfield up. We're going to move Garfield ahead of Smurfs. So let's do that. Oh, I moved. There we go. Love a good cause. Yeah, I love a good cause. There was definitely some comics or cartoons. I keep on calling them comics. Cartoons that brought to light certain things. And that was one of them. All right. Next up on our list is Super Mario Super Show. It's me, Mario. This uniquely structured show was glorious mashup combining live action segments with animated adventures, directly inspired by the wildly popular Nintendo video games. This was Nintendo's attempt to capture the audience not only in the video game part, but on the TV screen through cartoons as well. This animated portions plunged viewers in the Mushroom Kingdom following Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Princess Peach as they bravely explored fantastical lands, constantly battling the tyrannical King Koopa, Bowser, and his quirky minions in their never-ending quest to rescue the princess. Do the Mario. You remember the dance, Do the Mario? Some of y'all may not know about that. Look up Do the Mario song. They would, at the end of every cartoon episode, they would talk about doing the Mario, which was a dance. I'm gonna put this on. We're gonna have a lot of goods, yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It was good. It was good. It actually introduced another show as well that wasn't as popular, and wasn't as popular in my mind. But we're gonna put that up there. Yeah, we're gonna put that in the good. I'm gonna say better than Pound Puppies. But do I want to put it? Yeah, we're gonna put better than Smurfs. You can't tell me otherwise. Ha. Oh, okay. Next up, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. This was a cartoon I watched a lot before we had X-Men and their superhero adventures. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cowabunga, dudes! Cowabunga! This iconic series introduced the world to 4 Turtle brothers, led by Leonardo. You had the tech-savvy Donatello, the fun-loving, pizza-loving Michelangelo, and the gruff, rogue, sometimes independent Raphael, who, after being mutated by mysterious ooze, were rigorously trained by ninjutsu by their rat sensei, Splinter. From the sewers of New York City, they emerged to fight crime, battling their arch nemesis Shredder and interdimensional Krang in the Foot Clan, all while indulging their insatiable love for pizza. Yeah, Hero in the Half Shell. I was a fan of Ninja Turtles. I remember fighting other people on the playground, not fighting them for the show, but fighting them pretend fighting because I was Raphael. My brother would be Donatello, and I'd be Raphael. And I had some friends that we'd all pretend. And if the fifth person came by, we're like, "Oh, too bad. We got all our Ninja Turtles. You couldn't be the same Ninja Turtle." That was the rule. Them's was the rules. This is definitely. Yes, Ninja Turtles deserves to be on top. And I'm going to put it ahead of Ducktales, but not ahead of X-Men. Yeah, Ninja Turtles. You can't go wrong with Ninja Turtles. There's so much out there for Ninja Turtles. You had the arcade games. I remember playing on the Nintendo. We had the Nintendo Turtles in Time. I remember playing the arcades as well, multiplayer arcades, Ninja Turtles. In fact, this past week, I celebrated a year around the sun, and my oldest, she took me to the arcades, and that's one of the games I played was Ninja Turtles, and I was Raphael. That was a fun game. You have t-shirts, you have movies, you have comic books, you have a cult following for Ninja Turtles. They made Ninja Turtle underwears. I think I wore Ninja Turtle underwear too. Yeah. I had Ninja Turtle underoos. Yes, they had everything Ninja Turtles, and they still have everything Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles still remains a classic cartoon to follow and watch. I wasn't too particular on the new 3D animated movie that came out recently, or the reboot movies, the live action movies, but the original reboot, the first two movies were beautiful, and you actually had Vanilla Ice debut as well. Wow, a Razzie raid. What? Razzie, Sir Razzleton. Greetings and salutations to you. This is awesome. We're doing a 80s, 90s cartoon tier list. It's a little different, but Natasha. Quack, quack. Wow. I appreciate that. Lady May. Greetings. I take a bow. Yeah, we're doing a 600 subs stream. I had my subscribers vote, and they decided they want to see me rate some cartoons that I watched as a young adult and kid. So we're doing that. Thank you so much for dropping in, guys. I appreciate it. All right, we just did Ninja Turtles. Classic. We're talking about me wearing Ninja Turtle underwear. Yeah, I wore Ninja Turtle underwear when I was a wee lad. Care Bears. Oh, we're gonna get to Care Bears. I don't know about A tier. We'll see how that goes. Wow. I appreciate that as well. This is fun. Okay, next up, we gotta stay on task or else we'll never get through. Okay, we have next up on our list is going to be Rugrats. Rugrats came out when I was in high school. Rugrats was cute. I remember watching the Halloween special of Rugrats. We did not have cable TV, so I didn't get to watch every episode. But Rugrats was good. So prepare to see the world from a truly unique perspective. This beloved Nickelodeon series offered a hilarious and imaginative look at life through the innocent yet adventurous eyes of a group of fearless toddlers. Rugrats is one of the GOATs for sure. S tier. Oh, I don't know about S tier. I have it as
awesome to the max.
I have it as awesome. I don't know. See, that's when I was pushing high school, and I was starting to get more into the more adult cartoons and stuff that we'll talk about later. Rugrats for the people. Oh, I gotta do it for the people. Is that what I gotta do, Isabel? Okay, fine. I'll do S tier. Fine. We're moving it. We'll put it up there. Fine. The people have spoken. We'll do S tier. For the people. Equally as good, though. Actually, I think better was Doug. Doug was awesome because I was in high school, yet he was in junior high. I was in high school, but I still dealt with the ineptitude of social interaction. I was such an introvert. And watching Doug, okay, need to raid and run. I subbed. Classy Cozy Gamer, thanks for dropping in. I greatly appreciate it. Keep it classy. Doug, the Halloween episodes, the Christmas episodes. I connected a lot with that. Doug, yeah, we're gonna throw Doug.
Well, thank you, friend, for clicking that bell. Join the crew.
Let's give Doug. Oh, Lux. Thanks for subscribing.
We got flair to spare. We came on game strong. You're part of the fun. The journey's just started.
We're gonna put Doug ahead of Transformers.
It's pure delight. Let's level up together day and night.
Hey Arnold also did.
Well, thank you.
Mesa does games. Thanks for subbing.
You join the crew and it's just swell.
All right, here we go. Here we go. You're familiar with Eat My Shorts. You know what it is. It's Simpsons. Dope. Yeah, this family. You had Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and pacifier-loving Maggie. I would say the first 3 seasons were the best. And when the cartoon and TV industry as a whole started pushing the envelope a little, personally, I felt like they started pushing a little too hard as far as being crass and crude a little bit. But I'm gonna rate it based on the first 3-4 seasons. Cat and Dog. I don't know if I've seen Cat and Dog. I'll have to look that up. Ooh, but you know what? We're gonna say Simpsons. If I base it solely off the first 3 to 4 seasons,
Awesome to the max.
awesome. Especially the Halloween, the Halloween tree episodes. I would try to watch every single one of those when those came on originally. The Halloween episodes were awesome. All right, we're gonna put this ahead of He-Man on the A tier. Yes, definitely the A tier. And then we have another one that came out on evening, so it's geared towards more adult people. I don't know how many of y'all actually were familiar with it. We have The Critic. Can't talk, eating, Homer quotes. Donuts. All right, get ready for some brutal honesty. This animated series was about Jace Sherman, cynical, perpetually overweight, and often depressed film critic who despised hilariously negative movie reviews in the New York City television show. This was a movie that was geared towards adults. I mean, a show that was geared towards adults, but it was a cartoon. And there were some episodes that I understood a lot. I was in high school at the time when it came out. And I felt like it was okay. I mean, it was okay. It was I would watch it, but
I mean, it's all right.
it was all right, but it wasn't something that did justice compared to like The Simpsons. I'll definitely put it ahead of the rest of our oops, forget that one. I'll put it ahead of Johnny Quest as well. My fave Homer lore was that he keeps his family pics on his decks the same reason he doesn't burn the plant to the ground. Oh, wow. That is funny. All right. What do we have next? Oh, here we go. So this was made by the creators of The Simpsons. We have Futurama. Yes, Futurama. You have Fry, who's the delivery boy in the 1990 who accidentally falls into a cryonic freezer and poof. In the year 3000, he emerges. We all gotta do what we gotta do. That was Leela and Bender. Yeah. Again, this was definitely something that as it progressed, it became a little bit more crass. And I would say push the envelope as far as adult humor. Would I let my young kids watch it? No. Would I watch it with my adult kid that I have now? Yeah, I'd watch it with them. It wasn't awesome, but you know, it was.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's new. I'm gonna put it behind The Simpsons. We're gonna put it behind The Simpsons. Got to go to tier early seasons. Yeah, with the early seasons, I'd say good. It was good. It was awesome. But later on, I felt like it stretched out a little. Ooh, next up. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with this. This was done by Howie Mandel. Bobby's World. So it was a delightful journey into a mind of a 4-year-old boy. This charming series exclusively explored the world from an innocent, imaginative perspective of Bobby Generic, not generic. Oh wow, Bobby. So you had this Canadian family, and you had this boy that every episode was him using his imagination to explore the ordinary. You don't remember that one? Wow. Oh yeah, Bobby. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm gonna say it was
awesome to the max.
I enjoyed the fact that he was so creative with his imagination. That was, yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again.
Awesome to the max.
In fact, I'm gonna put it ahead of Futurama. That's how good it was. I enjoyed watching, because I remember the intro was a nice, powerful tune, and you had him riding around on his tricycle through different imaginary worlds that he created. Yeah, his little squeaky voice. Oh, all right. This is where the rubber meets the road, and I need y'all to help me decide. You do, yeah, you see the magic school bus down there? Yep, here, it's coming. All right, so this is where the rubber meets the road. Prepare for a detective animated Cape Crusader. Art Deco inspired Gotham City. You have Batman. Need I say more? Now, is Batman? We know Batman is. Is Batman better than X-Men? I say yes, without a doubt. Batman is better than X-Men. Batman is the best animated series that came from the 90s, without a doubt. And if you say something other than that, you need to get out of here. Yes, thank you, classy cozy gamer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you love X-Men? Yeah, but holy Toledo, Batman, oh wow. You had entire comic books based off just the animated series. You had action figures galore. And the storyline was dark, complex, psychological. It made you think about the restraints that Batman had to have and the pain and suffering that he had internally that he struggled with while doing all this. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad I have some other people who agree with me of Batman the Animated Series. All right, so now we have one that came out when I was in high school. My baby sister watched it probably more than I did. I think I maybe glimpsed at it 1 or 2 episodes, and this is where I'm gonna make some people mad. We have Ash Ketchum in the Adventures of Pokemon. So, the gotta catch 'em all Pokemon. You have Ash on his grand adventures of becoming a Pokemon trainer and becoming a Pokemon master. You had the Red and Blue games that came out on the Game Boy. And I'm just gonna say this. Oh, I gotta hydrate. I do need to hydrate. I'll let y'all decide on this one. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna. I didn't watch enough. I feel like putting it in one tier. What tier should I do? What tier should I do on this? A tier was best for me. Never watched it. Oh, really? Where should we throw? Not quite S tier. Okay. Not quite. Vote S tier. Oh, A tier. A tier. You watched Dragon Ball Z? Oh, I remember Dragon Ball Z. I didn't watch it, but I remember seeing commercials for it. A tier. Okay, A tier. All others go to C and D. Okay. We're gonna, you know what? We'll do A tier.
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in A tier. Where did I put it? Definitely better than Futurama. I'm putting it behind Bobby's World. You could fight me on that. Yeah, you could fight me on that. But we'll put it behind Bobby's World. Here's an off-the-wall zany cartoon that I watched several episodes of. Get ready for absolute surrealism. Based on a cult classic video game, which I played. I played Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 on the Sega Genesis. It was a pretty good platformer. It was a pretty good platformer that used the same types of stuff as Mayan. I forget the name of it. Oh, Pitfall. It used the same programming as Pitfall for the Sega Genesis. Earthworm Jim. So you have this nonsensical adventure of Earthworm Jim, an otherwise ordinary earthworm who miraculously gained superpowers when a high-tech supersuit accidentally plummeted from the space and landed squarely on him. You never heard of this one? What? Really? Well, there you go. Now you got homework to do. Earthworm Jim. So around this time was also when cable TV started having some really good cartoons on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon was becoming very popular during that time, and I felt like a lot of the main broadcasters were trying to push to the edge to compete with that. It was very niche. Yes, exactly. Very niche. So I'm gonna put that in the.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna put it ahead of. It's gonna be top. All right. It's all right. Oops, forgot about that one. When I was going through the list of the 80s and 90s cartoons, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember Earthworm Jim. Watched maybe like 3-4 episodes. It was all right. Never heard of it. Wow, never heard of it. I got a lot of that. Okay. Next up, Alvin. Get ready to sing along with high-pitched voices, of course. This animated musical comedy series energetically chronicled the everyday lives of hilarious misadventures of 3 singing chipmunks. You had the mischievous and rebellious Alvin, the intellectual and glass-wearing Simon, and the lovable and perpetual hungry Theodore. So basically you had the Ninja Turtles in chipmunk form and their adopted guardian, David Seville. Chipmunks. Oh yes, it was up there with another cartoon that we're going to do, Muppet Babies. I'm going to say it was
awesome. Awesome to the max.
Yes, the Chipmunks were awesome to the max. Now I'm going to put it ahead of. We're going to have to move some stuff around on here. Actually, I'd say Chipmunks was better than Bobby's World. Yeah, Chipmunks was better than Bobby's World. Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Smurfs, Alvin, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, all the other cartoons that came on Saturday. Ooh, yeah. When we first started this, I was talking about the Snorks and Hanna-Barbera and all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. They were pretty good. Oh, we got another good one. So I'm reading off a randomly generated list, so I'm having to go, and it's moving all around because I didn't want all the S tiers to be together and B tiers and whatnot. The next up is Goof Troop. This was pretty good. Gosh! This delightful series offered a fresh perspective on a classic Disney character. Following eternally optimistic single-father Goofy and his preteen son Max as they embarked on a new chapter, moving to Spoonerville and becoming neighbors with Goofy's old frenemy Pete and his family. Yeah, I watched Goof Troop and I watched the movie, Goofy movie. This was good. This was
awesome. Awesome to the max.
It was good. In fact, I will put it ahead of The Simpsons. Now I'm thinking twice. No, we're gonna put Behind the Simpsons, but ahead of Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm not a Goofy follower? What? It was pretty, it was good. It was really good. They had so many situations with either Max messing up, almost like a sitcom where son messes up, some forget, wants to try to fix it. Then in the end, everything works out. They're all happy family again. Goof movie was the best. Jeez. Oh yeah, they had Pauly Shore in that movie. He voiced Max's friend in the Goofy movie. That's right. I remember that. All right, so in the 80s, we're going to be doing two of these. In the 80s, there was Spider-Man and Friends. Thank you, Lex. I appreciate that. So now we're here. We have Spider-Man and Friends. I remember watching this at daycare and after school. This was an afternoon show. You had Peter Parker as Spider-Man, you had Iceman, and you had Firestar. And they do different adventures and stuff. Now, it followed, I would say there was some humor in it. It was almost similar to He-Man. And I felt like Marvel was trying too hard with Spider-Man and his amazing friends. I'm going to put this in the...
I mean, it's all right. Like,
it was all right. Oh, you vote B tier. Okay. You know what? I will let the chat veto me. How about that? Okay. We'll put it in B tier. Fine. We can do that.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right. Let's put this. And I'll put it ahead of Pound Puppies. Ida Paka. All right, so now this one actually rubs me the wrong way. This show was a spin-off of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and I felt like there was too much sass and there was other stuff involved. You had The Legend of Zelda. Well, excuse me, princess. Based on the revolutionary Nintendo video game series, the game was good. The cartoon was... I'm actually going to go ahead and just do it now.
emotional damage.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this was terrible. There was sexism, egotism, and just the comedy was not there. I was not happy with it. Even as a kid, I was like, this is lame. This was too lame. So we're going to put this... I'm going to put it ahead of Heathcliff. Actually, we'll put it ahead of... I'll put it down there that if I was locked in a room, padded cell, and they forced me to... or trying to brainwash me to watch junk, this would be the one I'd prefer over Beetlejuice and Heathcliff. Legend of Zelda. Well, excuse me. That was too much sass for me. I did not like that at all. Okay, now we have a fun one. We have a fun one that this is one of the ones in the late 80s, early 90s that Disney did that did a pretty good job. I wish they had extended it more. We have The Adventures of the Gummy Bears. Who remembers this? Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Remember that? So get ready to bounce. Set in a charming medieval fantasy world, this pioneering Disney and animated series centered on the last known clan of gummy bears, a secretly thriving race of bears possessing ancient magical knowledge and technology, who lived hidden away in their cozy gummy glen. I think I've seen like still shots of it, but I've never saw it. Unfamiliar with this one? I wonder how many of y'all are going to say this is before my time. They famously utilized their magical gummy bear juice, which granted them astonishing temporary bouncing abilities to courageously protect their secret community. This was good. I liked it. What is that? Oh. Let's see. So we're gonna do... I'm gonna say it was good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Doggos need the evening walk. I appreciate you coming on in. I appreciate it a lot. Have a great evening. So we're gonna say it's pretty good. Gummy Bears. I'm gonna say it was actually better than Smurfs. Yeah, it was better than Smurfs. I don't want to break anyone's heart, but I feel like it was better than Smurfs, but still it was just good. Good. Now, Star Wars in the late 70s and the 80s was capturing so many people. Is capturing the attention of so many people, bringing a sci-fi drama space opera, and they had to capture the attention stop spamming. What is Nightbot doing? Nightbot's being silly. Thanks for coming in. I need to work on Nightbot. So Star Wars was the thing, and we had cartoons come from that, and one of them was Ewoks. So you got to watch a cartoon series of just the Ewoks. Yub dub, yub nub, yum nub, yum nub. Did this show make you want to pet an Ewok, or did you really want to pet an Ewok after watching the Star Wars series, Return of the Jedi? They made a series on that. Yeah, Nightbot is going crazy. All these crazy people out there. Thanks for coming in. All right. I had toys. Well, actually, I had to share them. I had to share them with my brother. Ugh. We had a tree house that would pop up. The canopy of the tree, you press a button in the middle, it'd pop up and show an entire like inside of a house. And you had furniture and you had Ewok toys that you could play with as well. As far as the cartoon, it wasn't all that. I felt like they were pushing too hard with that cartoon, and so I'm gonna give it a.
I mean, it's all right. Like...
It's all right. It's all right. Definitely, but you know what? We're gonna do this. I'm moving Freakazoid down to
emotional damage,
and we're gonna move Ewoks up to. It's all right. Better than Dennis the Menace. Not quite as good as Jonny Quest. Next, now we have this was more of a British show. It was about an elephant named Babar. From the pages of the classic French literature came the heartwarming tale of Babar, an elephant prince whose life tragically changed after his mother was lost to a hunter. He bravely fled to a bustling city, where he was adopted by a kind old lady and learned the fascinating ways of human civilization. He eventually returned to the jungle, transformed into the wise, benevolent king of the elephants in Celesteville. You love that one? Yeah, Babar was good. It was good. I'm actually going to give it a...
Awesome to the max.
You might be too young for some of these shows. I'm a little up there in age. I'm a little up there in age. Yeah, my 20-something. We were talking about that today, my daughter. But I'm getting a little long in the tooth. But Babar, it was good, wholesome entertainment. I would watch it again and again. It was awesome. I'm gonna put it ahead of Snorks. Not quite Chip and Dale, but it was in the A tier. Definitely A tier as far as wholesome entertainment that I would let my kids watch. And so we began controversy. Oh boy, here we go. Prepare for a burst of pure, unadulterated emotion. This vibrant series joyfully followed the adventures of the Care Bears Countdown. Oh dear. A lovable group of colorful, emotionally intelligent bears who resided in the cloud-filled fantasy land of Carolot. S tier. Oh no. They were the Power Rangers of cuteness, I guess you would say. Wow. Oh, I don't know about it. Y'all are gonna make me do S tier. I was not a big fan because I was a boy, and at that particular time, I wanted stuff to beat 'em up, action stuff, and Care Bears did not do it justice for me whatsoever. And there's a couple other We have a couple other shows that are that way too. At least A tier. A tier. Are we doing S tier or A tier? What are we doing? I'll let y'all decide on that one. How about that? Yeah, we'll let. So sweet, they creeped me out. Right? They creeped me out too. I like the grumpy one with the storm cloud on it. That was a good one. Are we doing A tier or S tier? Next chat decides. Next text in the chat decides A tier or S tier or D tier. I don't mind that at all. Oh, A tier. Okay, Isabella P will do A tier. Okay, fine.
Awesome to the max.
But I'm putting it at the back. How about that? I'm putting it at the back of the A tier. Oh no, it randomly generated another one. Oh no. Okay, so here we go. I'm not a brony. No, I'm not a brony at all, but it followed the same recipe of Care Bears. Each pony had its own powers. And it was definitely pushing. Mattel was trying to push the toys. You had the toys with the long hair that you could brush out, different colors, and the ponies had different decorations on them. They would either you rubbed it or you interact with water, and the tattoos on the D tier. Okay, yes, I love that. Yes, thank you so much.
Emotional damage.
Need I say more? Yeah, no. Thank you, Lex. Emotional damage. I'll put it ahead of Heathcliff and Beetlejuice. Actually, tell you what, I'll do it justice and put it ahead of Zelda too. Zelda doesn't deserve to be ahead of My Little Ponies. My brother-in-law, on the other hand, he's actually, is he a year or 2 years older than me? He's a little bit of a brony, or was. That's all I'll say. Okay, yeah. My Little Ponies, it's going down on D tier. Your daughters like it? You know, that fair enough. I would be probably in another room watching something else. Ooh, here we go. Another Disney show. There was a lot of great Disney shows back in the 90s and 80s. And one of them was a spinoff from a popular movie in the 80s. You have Tailspin. So prepare for a high-flying adventure with a unique twist. This incredibly creative and reimagining of classic Disney characters was ingeniously set in the 1930s inspired bustling city of Cape Suzette. It's enthusiastically followed Baloo the bear, a highly skilled but perpetually lazy pilot who begrudgingly ran a struggling air cargo business called Higher Than Higher with a feisty business savvy boss, Rebecca Cunningham, and his adventurous son, Kit Cloudkicker. You love Tailspin? I loved it too. I don't know if it was S tier, but it was definitely
awesome to the max.
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw Tailspin in awesome, simply awesome. It was definitely ahead of Babar, but not quite as good as Chip and Dale. Oh, I'm gonna have to move some of these around. No, we'll leave these for now. I feel like these are good where they're at. Tailspin, yeah. Next up. Happy, joy, Ren and Stimpy. Oh, you had Ren Hulk and Stimpy J Cat. They were just living life as roommates, getting into different misadventures. That bothers me. Yes. Ren and Stimpy. It was hilarious slapstick comedy. Oh wow, we're gonna have to. I didn't watch a ton of it. Some of the stuff I watched was funny. Some of it was a little edgy. So, S tier. It's so gross and creepy. Yes, the hairballs, or other things. It was definitely. No. We're going to go with definitely S tier. It was hilarious. I was a high schooler at the time, and I like the gross comedy. I'm gonna put it ahead of Rugrats. Not quite ahead of Transformers, but it's definitely ahead of Rugrats. Cowardly Dog. I have not seen Cowardly Dog. See, some of these I did not have access to because I did not have cable TV. But there were specials that I'd watch. And Ren Stimpy was one of them that would have specials on regular TV. Okay, next up. Next up we have Bonkers. So this was in Toontown Antic. The zany series followed Bonkers D. Bobcat, a former beloved cartoon star who, after an unfortunate career downturn, surprisingly found himself as a police officer in Toon Division of the Hollywood Police Department. He was initially partnered with the grumpy human detective Lucky McClell. Later, his more patient officer Miranda Wright, as they hilariously solved crimes in a fanatically world where toons and humans precariously coexisted. Yeah, who's Bonkers? Yeah, this was on the same tier as Freakazoid. Yeah, it was. I was gonna say a D word, but ending with B. But I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say it was not intellectually stimulating.
Emotional damage.
Bonkers. Yeah, Bonkers. Yeah, did not do any justice to it. We're gonna throw it, but it did better than Freakazoid. I would say that much. Freakazoid was, I avoided Freakazoid. Now, here's another tough decision. We have a masterpiece of animated storytelling. This critically acclaimed series powerfully centered on a clan of gargoyles, ancient, majestic creatures who, bound by a magical curse, turned to stone by day and majestically came alive at night. After a millennium of slumber, they dramatically awaken in modern-day New York City. Oh, another New York City show. So you had Goliath, who is the stoic protector. This was another one, sort of like X-Men and Batman, that had a continuation of a storyline throughout the series. B tier, S tier, it wasn't quite X-Men Batman, but I don't know if it's on the same tier as Garfield and Spider-Man and Friends. I'm gonna put it in the
awesome to the max.
And I'm gonna probably rub some people the wrong way. Ooh, I'm gonna rub some people the wrong way. I'm gonna put it ahead of Pokemon. It's ahead of Pokemon. There we go. I did it. Now what? Fight me. I dare you. We live again. Gargoyles was peak 90s entertainment. It was top 10 in my watch list. Yeah. So, oh, wait, we have B tier? B tier? Well, then fine. If it's B tier,
Hey, that's pretty good.
we'll put it at the very beginning of B tier. I watched it. I didn't watch it all the time because I felt like there was a lot more reruns of it because they didn't do as many episodes during the season. But it was good. It was really good. And they did a movie off of it. In the 90s, they turned several cartoons into movies. And I appreciated that they did that. Oh, now we have... Nope, not that one. Whoops. Spider-Man, the animated series. You had X-Men. You had Batman. Then come the web crawler, the web slinger. Spider-Man, animated series. They did a great job in trying to reintroduce Spider-Man in the cartoon TV world. And for that, I'm going to say definitely better than the other one. Now, where do I put it? I'm going to put it before Ninja Turtles, but after Ducktales. Because I feel like Ninja Turtles and X-Men still have a leg up on Spider-Man animated series. Yeah, definitely has, but it was definitely better than Ducktales. Spider-Man. You can't go wrong. I mean, you had all the characters from the comic books. It did a great job. In fact, that they've rebooted Spider-Man several times, or done Spider-Man in different iterations several times as cartoons, and they do a really good job. And Spider-Man he's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You can't go wrong with Spider-Man. Next up, the Tick. Yeah, the Tick. Spoon. Tick was absolutely brilliant in its own way as far as being based off a comic book series, but I put it up there with Freakazoid and Bonkers. Tick, it
Emotional damage.
they didn't do a good job. I feel like they didn't do a good job, and no ticks around here, right? We live in a state that has a lot of ticks. And what they were trying to do with him and his friend Moth, or Arthur the Moth. Yeah, I wasn't in it. But we'll put it better than Zelda. I'm gonna put it better than My Little Ponies. Yeah, you see that right. I did it better than My Little Ponies. I was not a Tick fan at all. And that came on later in the mornings on channel 20 in our city. And I preferred watching Fox and WB over the Paramount channel. But put cute Care Bears back. Put Care Bears back? What do you mean put Care Bears back? I'm old enough that I have a 20-year-old in my house. I have a 20-something, and I'm doing this. Okay, so here we'll go. Yeah, we'll do that. So, OldNintenDude. The premises of OldNintenDude, the channel, and myself, is that I'm thinking long term as far as when I retire in the next 10-15 years. I would like to have something in place to keep me from going insane and driving my wife up the wall. And I've been told plenty of times by younger folks, "Hey, you're old." That's the premise of OldNintenDude. I'm middle-aged and getting up there and thinking long term. And I follow a bunch of great YouTubers. I've got their channels as my dudes on my channel. If you go to the channel, you look near the middle section of the home part, you'll see all the people that I enjoy watching, that I aspire to one day have the same type of community as well. D tier. Yep, D tier. All right, next up. Ooh, this is a good one. This is right up there with Bobby's World and Babar. And I said, hey, what a wonderful time today. Based on Mark Brown's beloved books, this charming and enduring series followed the everyday relatable life of Arthur Reed, an 8-year-old aardvark, along with his enduring family and diverse group of friends in a quaint Elwood City. Put the bears back. S tier. Yes, Arthur was phenomenal at bringing culture to life in a way that we can see everyone as diverse and unique, but we can all be together in accomplishing great things. It also talked a lot about integrity, which I greatly appreciate. Now, I was in high school when Arthur was popular, and I would say my sister watched it more than me, but maybe I snuck a few episodes in myself. I'm not saying yes or no to that, but I feel like Arthur was a great show to watch and helped a lot as far as giving attention to things that needed to be taught to kids when they go to school, social environments, being able to interact with other people that are different, dealing with bullies. You had a bully in there. It was fun. It was good. It was good, wholesome entertainment, and I will put it as a solid S. Yes, Tink, it was endearing. Definitely endearing. We will put Arthur... I'm going to put it ahead of Ren Stimpy. Actually, you know what? We'll put it ahead of Transformers. I feel like it was right up there with Doug. I felt like Doug was your next step after Arthur was Doug, in a way. Well, sometimes that happens. Most streamers are older. Have you watched Bush Camp Dad? He's pretty old too. Oh, he does a lot of Fortnite stuff. Arthur before Doug. Yes, Arthur before Doug. Okay, what's next? What did it generate? Oh, that boy ain't right. Hang it, Peggy. What in Sam Hill, Bobby? We have the one and only King of the Hill. Again, this is one of those ones where it was a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. It was a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. It brought a lot of adult and young adult humor to the foreground. It got edgier over time. It brought some things that you didn't know what it was going on if you were younger, but as an adult, you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on. And I love the fact that their niece was named Luann Platter. That is a dish from a cafeteria style restaurant here where I live. Luby's. They have a Luann Platter, and I enjoyed that a lot. So we will give this a better rating than The Simpsons. Yeah. King of the Hill. Now, I'm not going to put it ahead of X-Men, Ninja Turtles, or Batman. But I'll put it ahead of Spider-Man. Da da da. Yeah, we'll put it ahead of Spider-Man. Oh, Boomhauer, yes. I'll tell you what. that was some funny stuff. And Peggy and Bobby. I want to see what they do when they're supposed to be rebooting it. I want to see what they do with that. Hopefully they don't mess it up. I feel like a lot of these reboots, they messed it up. So we'll see what happens with that. Dale, bless his heart. This is getting more challenging. Next up is going to be Batman Beyond. It was an extension that DC Comics and Warner Brothers pushed out after Batman animated series became long in the tooth. It came out around shortly after the Superman animated series. They're trying to extend it out. Batman Beyond. So you have the future here. Basically, old Batman is retired and hiding in his mansion, and you have a new kid on the block, Terry McGinnis, who's a high schooler. So you have Bruce Wayne, who's elderly and retired, helping him become the new Batman with all the latest tech of the future and whatnot. It was definitely not good as a superhero show. Don't think I watched it. You didn't watch that? D tier, Lex? I think it's B tier, but and I want to put it better than Spider-Man and Friends, because I feel like, you know what? Let's drop Spider-Man and Friends. How about that?
I mean, it's all right. Like,
yeah, we're gonna drop Spider-Man and Friends. We'll put it ahead of The Critic, and we're gonna put. Yeah, we'll do.
Hey,
good.
that's pretty good.
Forgot that one? You forgot that one? Batman Beyond. Not better than Smurfs, but better than Pound Puppies. Yeah, we're gonna put it there. Ooh, here's a good one for Saturday mornings. School's out. Or Recess. Who remembers Recess? Who remembers Recess? Wow, TJ Ditweiler. You had Ashley Spinelli. Remember he'd call her Spinelli. Spinelli! Bloomberg and Gus Griswold. You had them, their antics on the playground and in school, trying not to get in trouble. Where's JDC? Wasn't this his idea? This was JDC's idea. Nick Gamer, hello. JDC. Yeah, where is JDC? One of our big subs, who's also a moderator, he was telling me, hey, you need to do cartoon tiers. We added that in the votes. Okay, so Recess. This is a solid cartoon. I'm gonna give it awesome.
Awesome to the max.
Awesome to the max. Great Saturday morning show. We will put it between Pokemon and Futurama. All right, so this playground was a whole world for them. Recess perfectly captured the intricate politics of elementary school. That's so true. So true. It was almost up there with like Doug, but I put it at A tier instead of S tier. As you dealt with the uncomforts of being a boy or girl in school, trying to find your individuality while trying to make friends and figuring out who you are and trying not to get in trouble, making sure you stayed in line with school and stuff. It was good. It was good. It was awesome. Ginger cartoon. All right, next up we have Taz-Mania. Taz-Mania. Get ready for a whirlwind of chaos. The animated series spun off the classic Looney Tunes character, the furious and hungry Tasmanian devil Taz, in his very own show set in the fictional wild island of Tasmania. The plot often hilariously revolved around Taz's sexual appetite, his signature chaos antics, and his uproarious interactions with eccentric, equally wild family and various other quirky inhabitants. This I did not watch that much of. Yes, C tier. Lex, you are absolutely right. It was not that good. I felt like they were trying to continue with Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes was long in tooth, a lot of reruns. There was other cartoons that were a lot better than it during that time. So we will give it a...
I mean, it's all right, like...
And I'll put it ahead of Ewoks. Yeah, we'll put it ahead of Ewoks. Meh. Meh. Yeah, exactly. Meh. Simpsons was better. Yes, Simpsons was definitely better than Taz-Mania. A lot of things. Ooh. So, oh bother. Time to get up. Time to get going. Gonna be a brand new start. The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. I was required to watch this because my sister wanted to watch it before we could watch our shows. Oh, okay. It was good. I'm not going to admit I watched every episode. I may have watched every episode, but it was awesome because you had a classic character, Winnie the Pooh, and all his friends, getting into many imaginative and real situations of different adventures and the friendships and the bonds they had. Sometimes Rabbit would get ticked off with Tigger, but you know, everything was fun in 100 Acre Woods. A tier? A tier it is. Yes. A tier it is. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
Let's put it... Ooh, where are we going to put it? I say Winnie the Pooh was better than Goof Troop. Oh. Better than Darkwing Duck, but not as good as Pinky and the Brain. Ta-ta for now. We are putting it right there. Second best. A tier.
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
Awesome to the max. Here's another one based off books. We have the Berenstain Bears. Now, if you were in school and they had book club or they had the book sale, this was definitely in that rotation. Really, Care Bears should move down. I'm just a little black rain cloud. Care Bears should move down. It's as far as it can. Wait, where is it? Oh, Care Bears should move down there. Oh, but it's at the end of awesome. So Berenstain Bears was based off the popular children's book by Stan and Jan Berenstain. This gentle animated series meticulously followed the everyday life and relatable experiences of Berenstain Bears. This was the Bluey. This was the Bluey of my generation, or when I was in junior high and high school or elementary school. Berenstain Bears was the Bluey of that time. It taught us much about being good siblings and facing everyday problems, specific bear facts and life lessons for the show that you remember getting taught. Yeah, this was the Bluey of the time. Berenstain Bears. I'm gonna give it a. I think this should replace Berenstain Bears or Care Bears. We could put it ahead of it. It was. No, I really think it was good, but not awesome. What are y'all's thoughts? I feel like Berenstain Bears is a B tier, but I don't know if it's quite an A tier. I don't know, because Care Bears as a whole is very popular by a lot of people who are not me. But Berenstain Bears, I don't know if it was quite on the same level as Care Bears. I'm going to say it was...
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, B tier. B tier. Berenstain Bears was B tier. Berenstain Bears, where are you? There you are, right there. I'll put it ahead of... Yeah, we'll put it right there. Between Gargoyles and Inspector Gadget. Berenstain Bears. All right, we have another cartoon. Loosely based off TV show and movies. It's creepy and they're kooky, mysterious, and spooky. All together, ooky. The Addams Family. Cartoon. Came out in early 90s. It wasn't that popular. It was, yeah, I didn't watch that much of it. It wasn't worth watching. In fact, I think it did it injustice. Oh, S tier for Addams Family? What you talking about, Willis? B tier? Are y'all talking about the same thing I'm talking about? Addams Family? The cartoon? You liked it? Well, the chat has spoken, I guess. All right, fine. But I'm putting it at the end. You can't tell me otherwise. I'm putting it at the end. It definitely did. Yeah, Princess Tapioca, it definitely did not live up to the TV show, or the original black and white TV show, or even the first movie, the live action movie. That movie was pretty good. I enjoyed that movie. But the cartoon. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so we have, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? This was based off the popular video game and also the game show. If you were a child of the 80s and 90s, you remember that there was a game show that pitted 3 different kids against each other on geographical facts and history. So this is based off the video game. It was an animated series transformed learning into globe-trotting adventure. This ingeniously followed 2 bright young Acme detectives, Zack and Ivy, who fiercely traveled the globe. Guided by an ever-present chief, they expertly utilized their bourgeois knowledge of geography, history, and culture to relentlessly track down the elusive master thief, Carmen Sandiego. Ooh, I think I vote B tier. I think B tier as well. I remember actually watching the live game show on PBS in the afternoons at my school before this came out. And I feel like I had a board game. I had the Carmen Sandiego board game as well, which was pretty fun. But this, I mean, is...
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It followed along. Oh yeah, the song was done by Rockapella, which was an a cappella group that sang for the actual game show as well. Yeah, look up Rockapella, Who in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and add it to your MP3 player if you still have one, or your cassette mixtape. we're gonna throw this in the B tier. Better than Smurfs. I'm not gonna say better than Gummy Bears. In fact, I'm gonna move Super Mario Brothers back of Pound Puppies. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Carmen Sandiego is B. It was good. Wasn't great. Wasn't awesome. If it was on, I'd watch it. I'd watch it. I'd watch that. Now we have our next one is Pepper Ann. Pepper Ann was trying to follow the same recipe, I believe, as Doug and Recess, as following a teen trying, or a young kid trying to figure themselves out. Pepper Ann was in seventh grade, so you had a young teen trying to figure things out in life. You have Pepper Ann Pearson, highly self-conscious, quirky middle school girl. She overthought every social situation, leading to hilarious, incredibly relatable, and sometimes wildly fantastical inner monologues as she navigated the bewildering challenges of adolescence. Pepper Ann, Pepper Ann was not as good as Recess. It was not as good as Doug. Tried the same recipe. It was okay. So we're gonna put it in.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Intro song is A tier though. You did have some of those cartoons that had really good bangers, but the show itself was like meh. We'll put Pepper Ann B tier. Not better than Smurfs, but better than Batman Beyond. Yeah, we'll do that. Better than Batman Beyond, but not as good as Smurfs. And yet another. We have another cartoon that I remember watching that was a spin-off of a show. Sabrina the Animated Series. This I did not like watching. In fact, it was not that good. I watched the live action show as a teenager, and this did not do it any justice. So we're gonna do
Emotional damage.
How dare they? How dare you? Wait a minute. Who are you? This was terrible adaptation of the show. So we're gonna put it down at the bottom. Still Freakazoid and Freakazoid and Bonkers still deserve to be near the end. Sabrina Teenage Witch was great. Yeah, the show was great. I enjoyed the show. That I related a lot because I was the same age. I think I'm the same age as the actress too. I might be a little older or a little younger. I can't remember. But I related a lot to the actual show, being in high school and junior high. But the cartoon, meh. Now we have Eek the Cat. This is before we had Chowder, before we had Amazing World of Gumball. It was trying to be a little bit more edgy than Garfield and Friends, and I think it did a decent job. It wasn't perfect. It was in the same writing realm as Earthworm Jim, but I would say it was good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. So we're gonna throw Eek. Ooh, where? Better than Garfield? I'm gonna put better than Berenstain Bears. No, better than Garfield and Friends. The cartoon, not the franchise, but the cartoon. Garfield and Friends. Eek the Cat. Never saw that one. Ooh, really? Look at all this. I'm gonna save this and post this to Discord and the post section of YouTube. I can make an image of all this so y'all can go back and actually look at it all. And I'll put the list as well on Discord. Eek the Cat. Yeah. Never hurts to help. This hilarious, chaotic series revolved around Eek, an optimistic and relentlessly friendly purple cat. It wasn't that funny. It was good funny, but it wasn't like great, like ha 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 ha, I need to go change my underwear, I wet them type funny. I said that. There were some bangers where there's some cartoons where you eat your pants laughing so hard. This was fun. Okay, so you remember at the very beginning we talked about Jonny Quest. There were several cartoons that took the same recipe of a kid going on grand adventures with guardians by their side. There was a show in the early 90s called Mighty Max. I'm back with enchiladas and root beer. Ooh, that sounds good. Mighty Max. So you have an interdimensional adventure. This exciting series followed Max, an ordinary kid who stumbled upon a magical baseball cap that possessed extraordinary power to open portals to different dimensions. Along with his immortal Viking bodyguard, Norman, and the wise, foul Virgil, Max bravely traveled through time and space to combat nefarious Skullmaster and prevent impending global catastrophe. Mighty Max, Mighty Max. I remember the toys. They did the toys in line with the same toys for Polly Pocket, which were basically you had a little box or little container that you open up and it was a little bitty diorama. You can move the little figurine inside it. Mighty Max. Barely remember that one. I remember it. That sounds great. Yeah. Look up Polly Pocket and Mighty Max toys. They little toys were very popular along with Micro Machines back in the day. Those were fun. So Mighty Max is going to get. You love Carmen Sandiego? My chat isn't live, is it? Yeah, it's live. You watched it on Netflix? What'd you think of Mighty Max? Okay, there you go. Pepsi Girl, you can decide where Mighty Max goes. Where are we gonna throw Mighty Max? I'm feeling like B or C. Probably B. What are your thoughts? Oh, Isabella says C. Okay. Well, then.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
Well, we'll put it ahead of Earthworm Jim. We're gonna put it ahead of Earthworm Jim. Never watched it. There we go. We'll put it ahead of Earthworm Jim. It was all right. Okay, so Transformers we had at the top, S tier. You sort of like Power Rangers. You had some other ones that came in to being that weren't all that. And one of those was Beast Wars. I did not like that they used CGI animation in this because the CGI was horrendous. You had the heroic Maximals and their villainous Predacons. And the artwork was not what I expected. I had enjoyed Transformers a lot, and Beast Wars coming along was not my shtick. D tier, yes.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, it was emotional damage. It was the mid to late 90s that came out, and when I saw it, I was like, "What is this trash?" We'll put it better than Tick. No, we'll put it better than Zelda. Not quite My Little Ponies. My Little Ponies, I'm gonna say, is better than Transformers Beast Wars. Yep. Ooh, here we go. Okay, so this is we're gonna have another cartoon that was an adaptation of a comic series. This connects a lot with me now, more so than it did back then. Dilbert was a cartoon that related a lot to the office environment and coworkers. It was almost like Office Space in a kosher cartoon setting. Yes. Painfully accurate yet a hilarious look at office life based on an immensely popular comic strip. The animated series offered a biting satire and cynical look at the sheer absurdity of corporate America. This was definitely better than The Critic. I remember watching this. I think it was on WB that it would air, and it would come, or Fox. I can't remember which, Fox or WB, but it was on Thursday nights, Wednesday or Thursday night, and I would watch it. I watched. No, it's on channel 20, which was I don't remember if it was Paramount at the time, but we're gonna put this as
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
Does it beat Simpsons? No. Does it beat Goof Troop? No. But it beats Alvin and the Chipmunks. Garfield was better? What? I'm gonna have to fight on that. Hold on. Wait. Dual Pepsi Girl. We'll see about that. Both faint mid-fight. It's a draw. Okay, never mind. We'll call it a draw, Pepsi Girl. We'll call it a draw. Fine. All right. Next up was another comedy that had a comedian's influence. Sort of like Bobby's World had Howie Mandel. You had Life with Louie, which was Louis Anderson. I don't know if y'all remember the comedian Louis Anderson. He would talk a lot about his childhood and growing up. And this was a cartoon loosely based on his comic routines of him expressing his experiences as a child. It was meh. Yeah, meh. D tier, Isabella. D tier? Seriously? No. This was pretty good. Oh yeah, he was the host of Family Feud. I forgot about that. So Life with Louie, here. I don't have the year. Life with Louie came out in 94, and the last episode was 98. It was on Fox and Friends. Butterfly Girl, hello, welcome in. You haven't seen it? It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was funny. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I'm giving it a B tier.
That's pretty good.
All right, Life with Louie. It was better than Batman, not as good as Pepper Ann. We'll put it right there. All right, now, okay, so I need y'all's help on this. This was just started at the end of the millennia. We had a young boy named Caillou, 4-year-old boy. The show, often narrated by an unseen grandmother, explored common childhood emotions, relatable situations, and critical developmental milestones as Caillou innocently learned about the world around him and his family and friends. Yep, this one came out in 99 or 90. Did it come out in 99 or 98? It came out near the end of the 90s. And my baby sister was watching it. I know that much. It came out in 97. Okay, yeah, 97. So my baby sister was definitely watching this. I didn't watch it as much. I'm gonna give it, it wasn't like emotional damage. Very mellow, yeah, very mellow. C tier seems about right. I agree with you.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
yeah, it's all right. Caillou, I'm gonna put it ahead of. We'll put it ahead of everyone else in the C tier. Caillou was good. It was online with Arthur and Curious George that came out later on. Yeah, we'll put it there. Caillou's good. Now, here's another one that I don't know I think we might have a new worst cartoon. Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Based off the live action movie. I don't know how they were able to get someone to decide, yeah, we should make that into a cartoon. Let's make that into a cartoon. It was
Emotional damage.
terrible. No, we're doing that again.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, we're loser. It was a loser. In fact, I'm actually going to put it as the worst loser.
Emotional damage.
Need I say more? They tried to adapt Jim Carrey's movie into a cartoon, and it failed horribly. I did not like it one bit. I gave it a try just because I had watched the movie as a was that teen at the time? I think I was. When did that come out? Ace Ventura animated. So this came out in 95. It lasted for 5 years. Wow. It was first on CBS and then Nickelodeon. You gotta be kidding me. There's full episodes out there on YouTube you can go watch if you want to cringe. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, that was terrible. Ugh, no. 5 years too many. Exactly. Next up is a quirky one about an alien. We have Widget's Widget the World Watcher. So this is the only cover art I could really find. He's here to save the planet. The series centered on Widget, a powerful, benevolent, shape-shifting alien from a distant planet, Krill, who arrived on Earth with his wise sidekick, Megabrain. Widget was tirelessly dedicated to protecting the environment and the entire galaxy, traveling through space and time to combat pollution, ecology, destruction, and various other threats caused by a colorful array of villains. Hydrate. I do need to hydrate, don't I? All right, I'll be right back. How about that? I'll be right back. I'll go get some water. I'll be right back.
I'm feeling like a champion tonight. Got my buttons moving left and right. Every move I make is pixel perfect. When I play the game, it's all worth it. Watch me as I climb up high, breaking every record, touch the sky. Press the buttons right, feel the power flow. Watch me win the fight. Here we go. Broadcast live, I'm in my zone. Years of practice made these skills my own. Every challenge set before my screen turns to victory, if you know what I mean. Level after level, watch me fly, breaking every limit, reaching high.
All right, you got me to hydrate. I hydrated. My vocal cords are well lubricated. There we go. Hot diggity dog. I'm back. So this is about, oh, I came in just in time for Just Joe to talk about O&D. No, thank you. Widget, yeah, I didn't like the show. I felt like there was other shows that did a better job of talking about conservation and the environment. Widget, it was quirky. It was a little too quirky for me. It's not emotional damage, so I'm not gonna give it emotional damage. I mean, it's all right. It was all right. I would watch it if it was nothing else was on. I'm gonna put it better than Earthworm Jim, but not as good as Mighty Max. Mighty Max was a little better than Widget. We're getting there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 more to go. Here we go. All right, based off the movie franchise, There Can Only Be One, animated. Set in a dramatic post-apocalyptic future, the series was a loose but intriguing adaptation of The Highlander. The Highlander. It follows Quentin MacLeod, the last immortal as he tirelessly searches for other immortals and bravely battles the evil Carton, all while seeking a legendary source of knowledge that held the key to restoring humanity and the ravaged Earth. This was a cartoon that came on early in the mornings. I didn't watch it. I mean, I watched a couple episodes and I was like, meh, when school start? I'm ready to go to school. I'm going to give it a...
Emotional damage.
Not that good. Better than Zelda though, better than Beast Wars. Maybe not as... Okay, fine, not as good as Ponies. I'm going to say that. There. I'm a pseudo brony. I'm a low-key brony. You got me. There. But... yeah, they didn't. I feel like the live action TV show was a lot better, and I remember watching that. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday nights? Live action Highlander would come on, and I enjoyed that a lot more than the cartoon. This is a fun one. There is a lot of books and TV shows and cartoons that try to base their worlds around King Arthur. And there was one called Return to Camelot, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. The movie, but not the cartoon. Yeah, exactly. So, this was actually okay. I mean, it was good. What happens is football players go back in time to King Arthur's time. And they're trying to return home. And they were thrust into this heroic roles of Knights of Justice. And so the football players are having to deal with knowing where they came from, but now that they're now part of King Arthur's court, and they're having to go against Queen Morga and her warlords, and they're imprisoned in the original Knights of the Round Table. Imagine a bunch of teenage football players getting thrust in that and trying to decide, are they going to do good? Are they going to fight evil, or are they just going to try to do their own thing as a teenager and not worry about it? I think I've seen one or two episodes. I would agree. The episodes I did see were okay. I mean, it's not like emotional damage, but
I mean, it's all right.
it's all right. We'll throw it in there in the C tier. I don't know if it's as good as Earthworm Jim. Definitely better than Spider-Man and Friends. Spider-Man and Friends Amazing Friends was a little too quirky for me. Ooh, here's a classic. They've done several reboots of this. You have the Pink Panther. Pink Panther, a suave, silent, and mischievous Pink Panther, returned in this animated series in the early 90s. So this came out in 93. Often accompanied by new supporting characters and set in more contemporary settings, it skillfully continued the character's enduring legacy of sophisticated visual humor and delightful, mischievous antics. A tier. Really? A tier? Let's duel over it. Whoever wins, I'm gonna duel you, Isabella. If you win, we'll do A. If you lose, Isabella, it will be B tier. Because I think it's B tier. I win. There you go. You go home sad. It's B tier.
Hey, that's pretty good.
It's good. It was good. Boo. Is it better than Life with Louie? No, but it's definitely better than Batman Beyond. There was some good... I enjoyed the physical comedy, sort of like the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges was awesome slapstick comedy. Pink Panther was up there. It wasn't as good, but I'll put it there. Life with Louie is a little bit better than that. You think Nightbot is biased? What? Yeah, you could duel me back, Isabella. You can put exclamation duel O&D. Next up, this was another emotional damage. You have Baby Huey. Yeah, need I say more? He was oversized oaf of a baby that was a chicken. Oh, goes home sad. Okay, fine, Isabella. Fine, we'll put it in B. Where are we putting it? We're putting it in A tier or B tier, Isabella? A tier for Pink Panther. I'll put it behind Care Bears. All right, so Baby Huey, it was another one of those cartoons that they were trying way too hard. And because of that, I'm gonna say
Emotional damage.
wasn't as bad as Bonkers or Sabrina or Freakazoid. Heathcliff, yes. Beetlejuice, yeah. Zelda, we're gonna put there. Between Zelda and Beetlejuice, Baby Huey. Next up, another cartoon based off a comic strip. We have Richie Rich. Meet the poor little rich boy. This animated series chronicled the whimsical adventures of Richie Rich, a young boy who, despite literally having everything money could possibly buy, often yearned for normal friendships and experiences. Along with his loyal cash dispensing dog Dollar and his devoted friends, he frequently outsmarted cunning criminals who attempted to steal his unbelievable immense family wealth. I don't know about that one. I watched it. It was okay. I remember watching that. Yeah, it was a remake of the 1940s. Yeah. I remember watching that. Then after that was Land Before Time. And Land Before Time was good, but it was the live action show, so I didn't include that in this. I would have included it in this. Land Before Time was solid. Yeah, we'll do B.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Where to be put it in B? I'm gonna say better than Pound Puppies, Life with Louie, Pepper Ann. Not as good as Smurfs, but better than Pepper Ann. Yeah, we'll put it there. All right, here's another one where we have to let we're gonna have to let y'all decide. Step into the world bursting with color and joy in a vibrant, truly magical world. Rainbow Bright and her adorable sprite companion Twink, along with her majestic horse Starlight, were entrusted with the vital responsibility of bringing all the dazzling colors to the entire world. One of your favorites, Tink? D tier? I'm thinking D tier too. This is one that was it was up there with yeah, exactly. It was a Care Bear type situation for me where I was like, this is just too much. I can't handle this. This is too much. It was a lot more of the girls that I knew watched it. I don't think any of the guys that I knew at the time watched it. Behind Ponies. So are we doing? I think I had Rainbow Bright toys and a doll. I remember there was a plush doll that I remember that had the yarn type hair that I remember some girls had. My cousin had Rainbow Bright stuff and Strawberry Shortcake, Care Bears, and Rainbow Bright were the 80s things. And I remember my cousin having that when we'd go visit. I remember her having it all in her bedrooms. And coloring books. Wow, there was a ton of coloring books. But yeah, Rainbow Bright. Ugh. I'm gonna have to put it. Who voted on this first? Hold on. Let me see who voted. Let's look through this. I said Rainbow Bright. And the first person said my favorite. Tink said it. I use he, him pronouns if you weren't aware. Okay, Lux. Tink, I think you were the one who said your favorite. So what are we rating this, Tink? B. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, okay. But I'm putting it at the end. I'm putting it at the end. Yeah, B. Fine.
Hey, that's pretty good.
If Lux had came in first, he would have had it ahead of you. But Lux came in after you, Tink. So maybe he'll get the next one. Oh, okay. Here we go. This is a tough one, guys. We have a tough one. This is a Steven Spielberg banger. Hello, nurse. It's time for Animaniacs. Yes, Animaniacs. You had Yakko, Wacko, Dot. You had all their little side skits, side shows. Yank. You had Pinky and the Brain. You had the Pigeons, the Goodfellas, Feathers. Oh, elevator go down the hole. Wow. Animaniacs. Where though? Is it better than King of the Hill? Is it better than X-Men and Ninja Turtles? Behind Batman? Yeah, you know, it's up there. I don't know if it's better than Behind King of the Hill. Behind Batman. Ooh. Yeah, I say no. I think it's between Turtles and King of the Hill. I think if push comes to shove, you have more variety of humor, different types of humor, and mixed up humor in Animaniacs than you did King of the Hill. I mean, you had singing. I enjoyed it when they had musical episodes. Do y'all remember that? Having musical episodes of Animaniacs? I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, yeah. Fantastic. All right. Earth, fire, wind, water, heart, Captain Planet, and the Planeteers. By the powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Who remembers this? Who was alive to watch this? Captain Planet was pretty good. I say, I'm going to already put it out there.
Awesome to the max.
I had an action figure, and it taught about being responsible with what we have and trying to reduce pollution and environmental destruction and being aware of your impact on the world. Land Before Time movies. Land of the Lost. That's what I was thinking of. Not Land Before Time. Thank you for reminding me, Pepsi. I thank you so much. Land Before Time was the movies. Land of the Lost was the dinosaur back in time with the father and the kids. Captain Planet was awesome. I'm going to put it up there. Here's a tough one, though. But I'm going to put it between Winnie... Yeah, I'm putting it between Winnie the Pooh and Darkwing Duck. I'm saying Winnie the Pooh is better than Captain Planet, but it's up there with awesome, simply awesome material. What do we have next? Ooh. Get ready for imagination overload. The truly delightful series charmingly depicts a boundless and imaginative playroom adventures of young puppet versions of the Muppets. Where did I put my Muppets? Muppet Babies. This was a good show. Muppet Babies. This was right up there with Bobby's World as far as them imagining a different world or time and them exploring it. It encouraged kids to take the ordinary and make them extraordinary. Whether it was your bedroom, the living room, now you can't really play around the kitchen, but I mean, being able to take certain objects and things and environments and turn them into something different with your imagination was a beautiful thing. Oh yeah, the babies. Oh, solid one, definitely. We're gonna put this as awesome. No, we're gonna put it. Yeah. I'm putting it up there in the S tier between Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats. Muppet Babies deserves to be up there. Jim Henson, in general, you can't go wrong with Jim Henson. Middle of the road. Ooh. Now, in the 80s, you had Transformers, you had She-Ra and He-Man, and then you had G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe! Based on the iconic Hasbro toy line. Now, remember, Hasbro was pushing out all these different shows to push their toys, and it worked. It worked. I had a lunchbox. I had an action figure. Wow. This action-packed series brilliantly depicted the ongoing high-stakes conflict between G.I. Joe, an elite, highly trained military unit, and the nefarious terrorist organization, Cobra, and the ruthless, frustrated Cobra Commander, who sought world domination. I was not able to find a original cover art, so I found this comic book cover art for G.I. Joes. And what I'm going to do now is going to be controversial. Maybe. I'm going to say that it was
Awesome. Awesome to the max.
I don't think it was quite up there with the S tier. In all honesty, I don't think G.I. Joe pushes enough to make it to the S tier. So I'm putting it in the awesome category, but we'll put it up there. Better than Goof Troop, not as good as... No. We'll put it better than... I actually enjoyed it a little more than He-Man. Yeah, He-Man. It's better than He-Man. Love that cartoon. G.I. Joe. I had a blue lunchbox with a metallic foil sticker on the cover. The old lunchbox, the thermos lunchbox that you got a thermos and the lunchbox together. I had one of those, the plastic ones. And it was a picture of the G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander, and there was a mountain, and there was it said G.I. Joe across, and it had like a little bullseye target thing on it and stuff. And I used to enjoy carrying that around and having my high C fruit punch and my Sharks fruit snacks in it. And yeah, trading my peanut butter sandwich for a cup of Jello pudding. It's better than King of the Hill. Whoa. Wow, better than King of the Hill. You certain? Are you certain the G.I. Joe's better than King of the Hill? I need confirmation on that. Blink twice. Blink twice if you think it's G.I. Joe's better than King of the Hill. That's a bit strong, maybe. Am I moving it up to S tier? Let me know if I should move it up to S tier or leave it at maybe higher in A tier. Okay, we'll move it. Okay, fine. I was originally going to do this. Yeah, we'll put it right here behind The Simpsons. Better than King of the Hill. Ooh, you got a lot of people saying, nah. We'll come back to that. Let's see if we come back to that. But we got one that's better. We got one that's way better. That you have Thundercats. Oh, this is definitely And did you watch the miniseries remake by Cartoon Network? Wow. All right, so you have this epic series courageously followed the last surviving members of the humanoid cat race, the Thundercats, as they heroically escaped their dying planet Thundera and crash landed on a mysterious exotic world called Third Earth, led by noble Lion No, and armed with magical all-seeing sword of omens. They strove to build a new home while fiercely fending off the ancient evil mummy Mum-Ra and his grotesque mutant allies. Yes, this did a better job of telling a story than He-Man, and I believe it did better at telling a story overall than Spider-Man even. I'm going to put it between King of the Hill and Spider-Man. Actually, no, what? No. We're going to put it better than Ninja Turtles. There we go. I said it. I did it. So let it be written. So let it be done. I'm doing it again. Better than Ninja Turtles. Yes. Thundercats. Now, we have when Batman the Animated Series became really popular, they incorporated in a couple of episodes the Man of Steel, Superman, the Animated Series. Basically following Clark Kent as he tries to balance his real life as a reporter with his superhero life as Superman. It followed along with the comic books. They even incorporated in Doomsday in a couple episodes, which was pretty good because at the time in the 90s, you had the Death of Superman series, which became hugely popular. So popular that people are actually having real life funerals to celebrate the comic book. And Superman did a good job. I don't think it did as good as Batman the Animated Series. I'm going to say it was good in its own right, but not as good as Batman. So I'm going to give it a...
Awesome to the max.
It was awesome. It was definitely better than Batman Beyond, which is around the same time. So we're going to throw this up. Was it as good as G.I. Joe? No. Not as good as Dilbert. Not as good as Recess. Not as good as... It was... I'm going to give it better than Babar and Snorks. No, Tailspin. There we go. You like the movies better? Oh, are y'all gonna go see the new movie coming out? The new James Gunn movie? It actually, the last few trailers that have come out for that Superman movie actually make it look pretty good. The first couple trailers that initially came out, I was like, meh. But the last few trailers actually made it look pretty decent. We're getting down to our final 6, guys. All right, here we go. Next up, Miss Frizzle was the coolest teacher ever. That's right. We have the Magic School Bus. This was a very popular science cartoon. I say it was right up in line with Bill Nye the Science Guy and Beakman's World as far as introducing science and the world to kids on a scientific level. Such a special one. Yes, exactly. Top tier. Magic School Bus was pretty good. And Miss Frizzle being able to show the kids things in a scientific way by going into those situations, whether it's a volcano. Remember when the kid got sick, they went into the body, showed germs and cells and stuff. By Animaniacs. I agree. Princess Tapioca, I agree. We're gonna call it. We're gonna say it is not better than Animaniacs, but between Animaniacs and King of the Hill. Absolutely. Down to our last 4. We have, get ready for some stop motion silliness after dark. This charming stop motion animated series uniquely featured Mr. Bumpy in Bump in the Night. This was a short-lived clay animated cartoon series that was about people, monsters, or little clay animated creatures coming out at night and venturing out. G.I. Joe is better than King of the Hill. What? New to me. It's probably new to a lot of people. I remember this. It was on ABC Saturday morning cartoons, because they also had a transition. After these messages, we'll be right back. They would have a little clay animation horse or cowboy or something else, or a dog doing something, stop animation. They would transition between the cartoon and the commercials. But Bump in the Night is, it's all right. Like it was all right. It was all right. I would watch it. It's definitely better than Widget. Not as good as Mighty Max. Definitely better than King of the Hill. You know what? We could do that. We'll do that. Fine. I'll do that, Pepsi Girl, just for you. We don't really need to see the D tier stuff anyway. Yeah, we don't need that. All right. And then we're getting the bottom of the barrel on some of the stuff. We have now. Oh, not Pepper Ann. We already did Pepper Ann. We have Peter Pan and the Pirates. Peter Pan and the Pirates basically loosely followed the J.M. Barrie's classic story of Peter Pan, and it set it in a sitcom / adventure type atmosphere. So basically, Peter Pan would get in different situations, or the Lost Boys would get into different situations, and they would have to figure out a way to get out of it and learn from it. It was definitely a C tier. Yes, C tier, I think. Yeah, definitely a C tier. It's all right. Like, I'll give you a side story. So, Peter Pan and the Pirates was airing in the afternoon on the used to be CB state. I forget, it was CB or WB, something like that. Back in the day, back in the 90s, it wasn't called WB. And they were having a phone-in contest. Remember that call? You had to dial on your phone, and you hoped that you had rapid or redial on your phone. If not, you just had to manually dial it. I called in after they were airing this, and they had a cartoon, or they had a contest, and I was able to go see Richie Rich the movie with Macaulay Culkin, because I dialed into the contest while watching Peter Pan and the Pirates. That was pretty cool. Thundercats is not a C tier. No, definitely not C tier. Thundercats is way up there. So Peter Pan and the Pirates itself was meh. It was okay. It was. It's all right. Like, are you watching live? I don't know. Peter Pan and the Pirates is gonna go. It's all right. It's better than The Critic. Better than Earthworm Jim. Better than Widget. Again, I think Caillou and Mighty Max are top of that tier. Down to the last three. Now we have Adventures from the Book of Virtues. This came in on later in the 90s, so I believe my sister watched this more than me. I think she might have some books, coloring books, some toys from it. So this is Lessons for Life, told through timeless tales. Based on William Bennett's influential books, this educational series thoughtfully centered on two human children, Zach and Annie, who learned valuable life lessons from their wise animal friends. The insightful Socrates the bobcat, the calm Plato the bison, and the soaring Aurora the red-tailed hawk, and the diligent Aristotle the prairie dog. Through classic stories, inspiring myths, moral fables, and diverse literatures from various cultures, the show gently but powerfully taught fundamental virtues such as honesty, compassion, courage, and loyalty. Hey, Lux. So with this, I didn't watch too much of it. I wasn't very interested in it. There's so many other shows that have done that similarly, where they go through books. Yeah.
Emotional damage.
Nah, we're gonna give it a.
It's all right.
It was all right. It was all right. Okay, well, it's all right. We'll do it better than Taz-Mania, but not as good as Jonny Quest on the C tier. And then we have Tiny Toons. Who watched Tiny Toons? It was a great cartoon series that expanded upon the Looniverse and introduced new characters and had variety like Animaniacs. It did a great job of that. Was it as good as Animaniacs? No, but it definitely deserves a... I enjoyed it a lot. Yes, Tiny Toons was a goat in its own right as far as that type of comedy. When you looked at Looney Tunes, I think they did a good job of recreating Looney Tunes, but bringing its own contemporary flair to it. I'm gonna put it up in the S tier. Better than Doug. I don't know if it was as good as Ducktales. I'm gonna say better than Doug, but not as good as Ducktales. Behind School Bus? Really? Well, all right, we'll put it there. We can put it there. Fine, we'll put it there. Tiny Toons, yeah, it wasn't as good as Animaniacs, but it followed the similar recipe of variety and humor, and I liked it. And then our final one, before he crash landed on Earth, this animated series served as a hilarious prequel to the live action sitcom, vividly delving into the quirky pre-cat eating life of Gordon Shumway, famously known as Alf. Yes, Alf, the animated series. It served as a prequel to the live-action TV show of the 80s and 90s, which was a pretty funny show about an alien crash landing into an American family's household and them trying to protect it and grow friendly and become a family with it, while it getting into all sorts of situations. So this cartoon was a prequel to that, basically his life on the planet Melmac, and things that he did comically and situation comedy of that all. I'm gonna say it was all right. It did, again, another cartoon that tried to capture the audience of a movie or actual live action show, but didn't do 100%.
It's all right.
A tier is a little strong, Isabella. I don't know about that. Does anyone else agree with Isabella about Alf being A tier? No. Yeah. Better than you added the cat thing. Yeah. They didn't have cats on Melmac. That's the problem. If they had cats on Melmac, that would have been good. I'm gonna say it's all right. And I will put it better than Peter Pan, but again, not as good as Mighty Max.
It's all right.
Well, that is the end. Better than Eek the Cat. Oh yeah. Eek the Cat. Really? We're doing good? Are we bumping it up to B tier?
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, fine. It looks like we have enough people saying that it should be up in B tier. We'll put it up in Eek the Cat. Well, folks, I want to thank you a lot. The reason why I did this stream is because I want to say thank you to everyone that subscribes. You choose to watch me over other stuff. You choose to absorb my content and be part of the community. There's a lot of great other YouTubers out there that I appreciate, that I've learned from. You know who you are. I'm in your chat all the time, and I appreciate you having patience with me while I'm learning the things that you do. And I want to thank you. I want to thank all the subscribers. Next up will probably be a 750 sub stream. I'll throw it out there again, allow the subscribers to vote on what I should do. Until then, thank you so much. Keep it clean. Keep it fun. Challenge yourself to do and be better. Take care. Have a great weekend. Have a great 4th of July if you're celebrating it. And stay out of trouble. Learn something new. Play something new. Tell me all about it. Bye.